All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Texas. By the way, if those of you who went to the football game, we left a little early. Wiley came back in a stunning... No, they didn't. No, no, they really didn't. But Alan took the foot off the pedal. They did not, well, as we would say in Texas, they did not hang half 100 on him. So it was just a 44-28 final, which leaves us ready for the playoffs beginning next week. Those of you interested, I'll do a regular weekly update if you like on that. But we really hope that you enjoyed that experience last night. Those of you that came, it was something a little bit out of the ordinary that you don't do at a conference. Maybe go to a Texas high school football game. Want to sincerely welcome all of you on behalf of myself and Kirk and all of the fellows at VeraSage to our hometown, Allen, Texas here. We were voted recently the number 2 place to live in the United States by one of the millions of magazines that do that, so it's a little bit of a shell game. We are also a finalist, by the way, for HQ2. That's Amazon's secondary headquarters. But I think there's also about 35 different finalists for that as well. So we'll have to see. It's not quite the honor it seems. But it is a great place to live. I will say this, except for the summer, and you guys did experience, as I said to the folks who came to the Art of Value conference, a very rare weather event here in Texas, and that is fall. We just don't usually do fall. So you're enjoying the coolness. I think at the end of the week it's supposed to be back up to 80. So you're getting the week of fall. We're so happy to hear that. How many is this first time VeraSage Symposium? Wow, more than half. Okay. We like to think this is very much unlike any other conference that you will possibly attend, in that the reason for it is for sharing of ideas, but the content is a lot from you. For those of you who've been confused about the whole debt talk thing, and perhaps still are, that's my bad. This is the first time we've done it with a bunch of outsiders, and I've just made some assumptions that I should not have. But what we will do is, I do have some of you down for debt talks later today. So at one of the breaks, for those of you who I'll read off a list of people who I have, but those I don't, please come up and let's get you scheduled. We've got plenty of time built in for them. And let me just briefly, I might as well talk about them right now. So here's the joke, by the way. Debt is TED spelled backwards, if you haven't figured that one out, right? So it's TED spelled backwards. But then Tim Williams added, I think, some words to describe them, and it's disruptive, educational, and transformational, I believe were the words that we used the last time. That's kind of the theme for them. And if you haven't gotten the irony here, those of you who are not fellows of the VeraSage Institute, you notice that you have 0.1 hour. Do you get get the joke? Right. So it's like filling out a timesheet. And the fellows, of course, get 0.2 hours. So they get double that. But we're not going to talk about charge rates or anything like that. Doesn't matter. But the value is indeterminate of that time. So it's completely up to you to make each and every debt talk valuable. We also have time built in after each debt talk, and this is something I'm going to try to experiment with this time, where after somebody gives a debt talk, we're going to quickly, not long, drawn out, but we're quickly going to go to have your tables have a brief conversation about the debt talk, maybe 2 minutes, and then a quick 2-minute report out from those who want to share what they learned or what it made them think about. Right? So that'll be the process for each and every one. That's both the debt talks that are given by the fellows and also those that are given by those of you who are not fellows of the VeraSage Institute. So just want to give some explanation on that. Kirk is getting our Slido hooked up. For those of you at the Art of Value conference, you're aware of this. Let me quickly show you what I'm talking about on this. Get your devices out. It doesn't matter your device. You can use a computer, you can use a laptop, you can use an iPad or any kind of a tablet type device. And what you want to do is you'll want to go to Slido, SLIDO.com. Right? And this is what it'll look like on a mobile. Let me get to do the present view. So you're going to go to Slido.com, and then the code for the conference is VS17. right? So you just put in VS17 in there. And then if you are on a mobile device, it'll look like this. Okay? The tablet device will look something like this. And then, of course, the desktop will look something like this. We're not going to be taking advantage of the poll feature at all. It's just going to be questions. And what you want to do is, if you have a question at any point during the conference, doesn't matter, even like right now, and I'm sure some of you will test this out, but just put something in there, and then everyone in the room will see the question. And what you can do is, if you see that somebody else has asked a question that you think is a pretty cool question, hit the up arrow. There'll be a thumb, a like type button. Right? So that'll elevate that question. And then periodically throughout the conference, we'll go over to the laptop here and look at some of those questions, and maybe we can either dismiss some of them or perhaps answer them as we see fit. Right? So we're just going to see how this goes. This is a way that we can gather feedback throughout the entirety of the conference without necessarily having to, people raise their hand and interrupt the flow of whoever's speaking. Okay? Make sense? All right? We'll see how it works. This is a part of this innovation and experimentation. This may completely not work. We're okay with that. All right? The other thing, you may have noticed this little funky thing here. For those of you who came to the Soul of Enterprise recording last night, this was sitting in front of us. We propped it up a little bit. It is getting any of the slides that you choose to use. For those of you who need a flip chart, we'll just pull that out and you'll be able to see this. There's a really wide field of view on this. So I think you can see me all the way over to about here. Is that right, Robert? Yep. And then you'll be able to see me, but you won't walk into the table because you'll have to go like here. Right? So don't go here. All right? So it's a pretty wide field of view that will be on you. And this is a really funky camera. How many different views is this capable of? 9 different views. So it gives you a wide shot. It can give you shots on your faces. And this is what we will be using for the live video streaming of the event that's going out, that will be going out on the VeraSage and Friends group that I know many of you, if you're not aware of that, go into VeraSage and Friends, and as people is talking, I'll approve you, right? So just Facebook. So it's a Facebook group, VeraSage and Friends. If you're not a member, go find it now. And all of these are going to be live streamed and archived there from a video perspective. That's all of the DET talks. Okay? We will also, if you really want, we will also get the footage, the actual raw files of this after the event, right? So if any of you want it without the Facebook stuff, or don't want to send people to Facebook and you want a copy of your DET talk, we'll be happy to get it sent over to you in some way, or Dropbox it or whatever. All right? So we're happy to have that. I want to thank my employer, Sage, because Sage is the one that sponsored these guys from Voice America being here and doing all of this audio video stuff. So thank you very much. Every once in a while we do the right thing. No, I'm kidding. Very happy that Sage is willing to continue to support me in this endeavor. I do have, honestly, the best job ever. I mean, I get a paycheck every 2 weeks, and I do a radio show and podcasts, and it's like, really? Okay. You're going to keep paying me? Yeah, all right. And these guys are fantastic. If you haven't had a chance to meet Robert and Ryan, please come up and say hello to them. Great guys, so we're really appreciative. Yeah, go Eagles! Awesome. So they're going to be streamed. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on that. We'll have access to the footage. Oh, and it's also, I'm sorry, the last thing is there audio of everything. So not just the DET talks, but audio of everything is going out through the Voice America live events page, right? The live events page. Oh, and by the way, who was at the TSOE last night where we did okay, it's up on iTunes. You sound great. Right? It came out really good. Really, really good. So thank you for participating in that. It sounds like there's 1,000 people in the room. It's like so with good echo. All right. So that worked out really well. If I missed anything technically, I think I got it all right. Where all of the properties where we're going. All right. Good. All right. Talked about the Slido. We did not do introductions at Art of Value, mostly because I forgot. And we were before I remembered, we were like headlong into it. So what we are going to do is we're going to do some introductions today. I'm going to grab a microphone so that we can have everybody say this, and I'll come around to you. And we don't want to make this long, but name, company name, perhaps what you hope to get out of the VeraSage conference. You may or may not get it, by the way. It's a goal, not an objective, for those of you who were paying attention a couple days ago, right? So what your goal might be for the VeraSage conference, and then I guess that's it. If you want to share something unusual about yourself, that'd be fine, right? So maybe something unusual, like things like arrest records would be interesting. Not convictions, just arrests. The other thing that people share is deformity. So, for example, I have 2 different color eyes. I don't know if any of you have ever noticed that, but I have actually 2 different color eyes. I have a brown eye and a blue eye. It's called heterochromia. That's what it's called. I'm hetero. You guys are all homochromia. Just nothing against that, but I just want to let you know that I'm heterochromatic. And what's that? Yeah, that explains it. What explains it, Joe, is that I've looked it up, and it's a gene mutation. So I am a mutant. I'm actually a mutant. So kind of cool. All right, Ryan, let me grab a microphone. Come on around, and I'm going to, of course, start in the very back, which nobody was expecting at all. So I'm going to start with my buddy Thomas right here. Yeah.
Okay, Tom Bowden, Richmond, Virginia, attorney, solo practitioner for 5 years now. Made a pledge to myself a little bit over 5 years ago, never to fill out another timesheet. Proud to say I've turned down a few clients who asked me to bill for time, and I won't do it. It's been extremely successful for me. I have to say I started doing a form of value pricing about 25 years ago when I priced a large engagement while I was still in a law firm. Sadly, although that was successful, law firms didn't seem to want to go that way. So I'm here for ideas, support, and just intellectual curiosity. Thanks.
All right. So because you were brave enough to be the first one, you get to decide which way we go. Do we go this way or this way?
I think you should go up to the front now.
Oh, okay. It's going to mess me up from a circular standpoint. All right, well, I'll go to Mark. Thank you. All right, so Matthew, where are
Okay, thanks. Matthew Burgess from a place called Brisbane in Australia. Been part of the VeraSage family for I don't know how long, but it changed my life, so I'm just expecting it to change my life again today. And I've only been to court twice, both times I got off, and although the third time when I didn't actually get to court was because I crashed the only motor vehicle I've ever owned into the back of the highway patrol car.
Oh!
And if you need to know, when you're involved in a motor incident with the highway patrol car, they can't actually report on the incident because they are part of the investigation. So it's a tip for young players.
So it worked out.
Well, no. It was 5 o'clock in the morning, and they had to get a guy out of bed. Didn't end well.
Not too happy. All right, thank you, Matthew.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I work for Mark Wickersham. We live in a little village in the UK called Chesterfield. My goal or objective this week is just to listen and learn so that I can support Mark.
All right, thank you.
Cheers, Ed. Hi, Mark Wickersham. I was an accountant once. I now teach accountants how to value price. I've been doing it for 17 years. I was inspired by Ron, who's my hero. I first met in '99, and since the year 2000, I've been teaching accountants the systems I created. So that's me. I'm also an addicted cyclist. So this week's hard because I haven't got a bike here, which is awful. But so I cycle most days of the week. And my goal for this, I've got no idea why I'm here, to be honest. I have no goals. And that means that I'm not going to end up being disappointed because whatever comes out of today is going to be awesome and way above my expectations.
There you go. That's one way to look at it. Thank you. Sam?
I'm Sam Baker. I'm Ron Baker's father. Yeah, that's the reason you're all here. Anyway, this is my 5th fellows get together. I told Ron I didn't.
Six. But who's counting?
Well, I didn't go to Hawaii because I couldn't drive there. And anyway, so it's 5. So
wham!
And I've been promoted to Uber driver for Ron.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, no, you're going,
I'm
Janine.
part of the group, yes. Thank you, Ed. Janine Baker. I'm Ron's mom number 2, and I'm proud to be here, and I love to socialize. That's my deal. So if you want to talk, come on over.
Yeah. Janine's our cruise director.
I have to do this.
Yep.
My name is Mark. I'm from Columbia, Missouri. I'm a certified introvert. And I was telling these guys earlier, you all sound just like you do on the podcast. This is great. Mark Gandy, I'm from Columbia, Missouri. By the way, the Cardinals kicked butt of the Mets in '85 and '87.
That's true. Yeah, I agree.
FYI. I run G3 CFO and free agent CFO, so I help clients grow, scale, and climb the entrepreneurial ladder. Never really build by the hour, just by accident, I guess. So why am I here? To meet my heroes.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ed. Stephen Brown from Perth, Western Australia, the most isolated city in the world. So it was a bit of a journey to get here, but really glad to be here. I'm from a firm of lawyers called Lynn & Brown. We only moved across to value-based pricing on the 1st of June this year, so really new to us still, this journey, but I'm hoping to get out of this the next step in the journey, to learn a bit more to perfect our model, but also to look for what is the next step. I'm a thorough believer in business that if you don't keep going forward, you go backwards. So I'm looking for what is our next step and where the journey can take us from here. I've been fortunate enough to never have to go to court, never run into the back of any police vehicles, or I only ever had to go to court to represent someone else.
I'm Ron Baker, and thank you everybody for being here. This is our 6th VeraSage Symposium. These are just incredible events. It's the only time in my life where I get nervous speaking to crowds is in front of my fellow fellows and our friends. These really emotional symposiums because it's pretty rare for us to get these great minds under one roof at one time. I wish we could do it more often because it inspires me, and it just forces me just to give everything away, because all my intellectual capital, because then I have to replenish it. My objective for this symposium is at the end of 2 days to not have you sick of hearing from me.
Good morning, I'm Dan Morris. I reside in Happy Valley, Oregon, and this is also I guess it's my 6th.
Yeah.
And what I like about Allen, Texas is I am not the one leading the conference in the symposium. and what happened was American Express's stock went down this week, and they figured out that I wasn't prepaying for this event. So my credit lines do appreciate all the work that Kirk and Ed have done on this great proposal. And to all the new faces and the new names, welcome. Welcome to the family. It's an enjoyable ride, without a doubt. Thank you.
Joe.
Hi, my name is Joe. I'm a CPA in Madison, Wisconsin, and a consultant, I would say that. The reason why I'm here is because I'm a consultant, and my hope was to learn how to value price complicated consulting engagements where there are lots of unknowns. Something unusual about myself or whatever. Back in 1969, I got to caddy in the Greater Milwaukee Open golf tournament, and a lot of golfers in here. And I was really fortunate in that I got to caddy for Peter Townsend, who was an Englishman. And Peter led the tournament after 3 rounds. And I got to play I got to caddy in the final group on Sunday. And Peter played with the winner, Ken Still. Ken Still made every putt inside of 25 feet. Every putt inside of 25 feet, including the one on the 18th hole where he hit it into the scorer's tent over the green and then chipped it on 25 feet away and made that putt to win the tournament. And Peter hit 16 greens in regulation and had 10 footers for birdies all day long and shot even par 72. So anyway, but while I was there, Arnold Palmer was at that tournament, and he came up to Peter's bag when we're standing on the first tee one day, looked inside it to see what kind of clubs he was playing with and all that, and see who this guy was. And first thing he did is he reaches out his hand to shake mine. There, so that was pretty cool.
Very nice.
Thank you, Ed. Good morning, everyone. Robert Chilino, Senior Executive Producer at Voice America. I get to work with these guys. And this is amazing. And I think being in a room or in the proximity of everyone in here that's brilliant, right? I mean, you guys all have brilliant things. My goal, I think, for this whole weekend is to be changed molecularly at some level by just sheer osmosis. And we do live radio, as you probably figured out, and video. So just come over and talk to us because we do like to talk.
Ryan, you got your own mic.
Hey, my name is Ryan Treasure. I'm the Vice President of VoiceAmerica.com. I've been there for 15 years. I enjoy taking events like this and broadcasting them to other people so we can document that there are actually really cool people outside of traditional media like CNN, which we know has fake news anyways. So we'll just bring all of this to the table, which is going to be a much better experience anyways. All the content that we create today can be seen at VoiceAmerica.com/live events.
All right, great.
Thanks, Ed. Hi, everyone. My name's Jackie Brown. I have the dubious privilege of being Steve's sister. One of the most unusual things about probably Steve and I is that we have successfully run a law firm together as brother and sister for the last 12 years. We haven't managed to kill each other, and we don't have any family arguments when we catch up with the rest of the family. So we're quite happy about that. Our firm is Lynn & Brown, as Steve said. We've only started value-based pricing relatively recently, but we certainly wouldn't be here without John. So John, thank you so much. You've held our hand through the journey. You've brought us here, and I think this has been the greatest thing for our journey so far. So thank you. And it's great to be here amongst so many people who are doing the same thing, because in Perth, as Steve said, we feel pretty lonely and isolated. There's not really anyone else doing this, but it's great to be in a room full of people who are. So thanks.
Okay, going that way.
Oh.
Hi all, my name's Andrew Bohr from Moores in Melbourne, Australia. We're a firm of about 40 lawyers and 100 staff all up. And I head the property and construction team there. My reason for being here really is to turn my unknown unknowns into known unknowns. So I'm really valuing the learning and the camaraderie between the group. Small thing about myself, although I'm not a litigator, I did win my first court battle when I was a law student. I successfully defended a guy who had crashed his car pretty spectacularly, and he managed to keep his license. Then I got on the bus to go home because I had lost mine already.
It's going to be hard to follow. Steve Struck here. I'm a tax partner at a firm in Grand Rapids, Michigan called Baker Holtz. We have implemented a value pricing model since 2012, so we're 5 years up and running. So the purpose of our visit here is to get better at what we do, get more information. We have made it through the due diligence phase, the up and running phase. Now we just need to get better. Interesting thing about me, let's see, I don't have a record. My eyes match. Let's see, a fall here is much better than where we left because it was below freezing in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So this is very warm. So I'm very appreciative of this weather right here. So,
thank you, Steve. I'm Ryan Holtz, managing partner of Baker Holtz. Like Steve said, we implemented in 2012. We've been around since 1979. That's a semi-tough thing to do in Midwestern West Michigan. We do take, feel like we're complimented just about every day because the firms around us now will offer fixed price, but it's not value pricing. But now what we're trying to do is figure out what that education process is to tell our prospects behind the scenes they're recording every 6 minutes of their time. we're not. And trying to just get better at that. 5 years, you kind of rip the Band-Aid off. You got a good culture, but now we need to go from point A to point probably D or E as quickly as we can. And I was telling Steve, it's awesome. We love the Australian and European accents. We might start to slip into those here, here and there. I feel like we're not part of the group, but so I think this is awesome for us. This is our first, even though we've been around 5 years doing it. This is our first time at the seminar, and looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Hi everyone, Hugh Watson from Melbourne, Australia. My deformity is the same as my career, lawyer. With Andrew Bohr, I work at Moores in Melbourne. We've been value pricing for a number of years. Myself, it's been about 3 years, so about 10 years of time-based billing before that. Why I'm here is to keep learning. I mastered the art of time-based billing in probably the first week of my legal career. Been value pricing for 3 years and still lots to learn. So even this last, or the Art of Pricing conference, has stepped me up a level, and I think while we're all here there's lots more we can learn, and I think we'll keep learning our value-based pricing practice for the rest of our career.
All right, awesome.
My name is Shauna Wordinger. I'm from Central Florida. Probably the closest city is Orlando. And I'm a solo practitioner, a CPA. Started about 15 years ago on my own, and had family and kids in the middle of all of that. And about 18 months ago, I ran upon the podcast and the book with Ron, and just dived deep, real quick. I'm on my own, so I just changed immediately. So I'm here. I'm actually honored you guys let us newbies be a part of all this. So just rubbing shoulders with smart minds. I mean, this is like, I wouldn't call it heaven, but I mean, it's a great place. Sorry.
Maybe purgatory.
So, I mean, when you're on your own, you don't know anything. What you don't know, you don't know. And so I think that's what's great about what I'm, just learning. So probably something interesting about myself. BK, that's before kids, I ran 4 marathons. Hopeful to get back into that, but Florida's hot, so it's not really the most acclimated place to be a runner, but
awesome.
We might get back into that. So good
Great.
to be with you all.
Thanks. Give it to
Hi, I'm Tim Williams. I run a consultancy called Ignition. I'm the black sheep in the group because I'm not an attorney or a CPA. I'm not a professional. I'm a pseudo-professional because my space is ad agencies, marketing firms, PR firms, all that space, which we get lumped in as professional services. Most of our problems are exactly the same. The dynamics are exactly the same. But we don't have to get special degrees and get certified and recertified and things like the real professions. So I'm here to learn from the rest of you. I'm a perpetual student of the business, and so I'm here to learn from people who are smarter than I am. Let's see, obscure fact. I've got plenty of deformities. That's a long list. But I once fired Robert Redford as a client. How's that?
That's kind of hard to go by after. I didn't do anything like that. Hi, my name is Louis Prosperi. I'm with the Institute of Certified Professional Bookkeepers. Why am I here? That's a good question. I still haven't answered that question, to be honest with you. I basically came because all of my, like Ron and them, I'm getting so emotional. No, not really. But what I'm trying to say is that I came here to learn, and the first 2 days was fantastic, and I'm looking forward to these TED Talks. TED Talks.
Yep, there you go.
And I don't have anything odd about me.
Yes, you do.
Hi, I'm Lisa Block. I'm from Brattleboro, Vermont, and I'm a consultant. My business is accounting systems design. Let's see, I have 2 blue eyes. Neither of them work very well, though, so I'm not sure if it matters. I have been trying to understand value pricing for about the past 5 or 6 years, And what I've learned over the past 2 days is it's not something you can understand. So I'm just going to jump in. And I'm very privileged to be here with all of you.
Hello, my name is Greg Kite, and as you can probably tell by my accent, I'm from Utah. I have a couple deformities. My ears, I got one tangly one and one attached one. Have you ever met anyone like that before? Probably not, just me. Also, fun fact about me, one time I picked up Robert Redford as a client because someone had just fired him.
It's difficult to follow that one. My name is Sean Jardine. Something odd about me is I can wiggle my ears, but that you have to be close up to watch that. Something else odd about me, Snickers bars over here are called Snickers, obviously. They used to be called marathons in the UK, and I did a marathon commercial when I was 24 because we had no money, and my wife and I got paid £100 a day to go to Malta to get that filmed, and we bought a washing machine because we were poor. Anyway, that's getting weepy. I'm CEO of a law firm called VeraSage, based in Oxfordshire and Warwickshire. We're 250 strong. The firm is 200 years old, and I'm trying to drag it into the 21st century. And one of the things I want to get out of today is to understand the implementation of value pricing. I'm getting my head around the theory, but it's now a big change management project to run that out across 3 sites and 250 people. And as we all know, lawyers really hate change. They're conservative and they're bloody good at arguing. So that's my challenge.
Hello, my name's Ray De Cruz. I'm from Australia also. That was going to be my unusual thing to say, but that's not going to work out very well.
Not here.
My goal, other than having the next conference in Australia, given the numbers, is to share with you some of the product that we've developed, which John has encouraged us, and John and Ron have encouraged us to come and share and get your feedback on that product, which is still very much in its early days. So I'm looking forward to that. If I were to list all the things that made me, what was it, abnormal? No.
Unusual.
Yeah, quicker to list the things that make me normal. So I'll leave it at that and hand over to Joel.
Hi everyone, my name's Joel Borolski from Melbourne, Australia, but originally from South Africa. So I've lived in Melbourne for 30 years, and my objective here today is to actually launch a new pricing app which I've developed, and with John's encouragement to come today to launch the app. I'm not sure how you launch an app, whether you break a champagne over your phone, but I'm not sure that's a good idea. Not sure that's the best idea. But looking forward also to learn. I teach a course at Melbourne University, and always open to fresh thinking and insights, and looking forward to the 2 days. One fun fact that could relate to the audience, recently discovered that my father's first cousin was a late actor, Walter Matthau, who you might know, and his mother's name was Rose Borolski, and so just found this family in America, so that's something interesting.
Cool. No, Bill.
Hey everyone, Bill Sheridan. I'm the Chief Communications Officer with the Maryland Association of CPAs and the Business Learning Institute, based in Baltimore. Let's see, why am I here? Well, I've spent the last number of years kind of rubbing shoulders with a lot of the folks in this room and absorbing a little bit about VeraSage in the process, and so this is a great opportunity to be here for the first time. Really looking forward to it. I mean, what a great opportunity to be in a room full of brilliant minds and Greg Kite. So I'm just really looking forward to being a sponge and learning all I can. On the personal side, as of August, I'm a certified personal trainer. Ed and I will be leading a hot yoga class tomorrow morning, so expect to see you all there.
Thanks, Bill. My name is Adrian Simmons. I'm a CPA from Laurel, Maryland, so about half hour north of D.C. And I'm here because this is a place that I'd love to come, every couple of years that to all the people that I look up to and admire, and just to sort of get lots of ideas. I still think I'm chewing on things that we talked about in Boston 2 years ago. And this really just is a great energizer and a great way to take back and say, how am I going to change my firm? How am I going to continue to grow and modify it? So a sort of an interesting fact about me is that my wife and I just had our first child 4 months ago, a little guy named Luke. So he's really cute. Thank you. So we're super excited. Missing the little guy too. So here you go, Chris.
Good morning. So my name is Christopher Marston. I'm the CEO of Exemplar Companies, also a lawyer, and we're some 30 professionals across 5 offices. And we're a benefit corporation, Delaware, the first in the history of the state of Delaware, and combined the first non-billable hour law firm in American history with tax and accounting, a business advisory firm, and a FINRA member broker-dealer investment bank. We focus exclusively on revolutionaries, game changers, and impact businesses, so people that are curing deadly disease to electronic voting, green tech, clean tech, ed tech, cool stuff pretty much. Fun fact about me, I don't know, there's weird stuff. So like I really enjoy behavioral economics experiments. I used to take like a roll of pennies to work every day. We worked in Boston, I live in LA now. And on the way to work, I would like toss pennies on their end as far as I could, just one by one until they're all done every day. And just to see like who picks them up, because it just gave me so much joy. I wanted to see how far I could throw them, but to see who are the crazy people that actually bend over to pick up a penny and find the value they get from picking it up actually greater than the cost of bending their ass over in the cold and picking the thing up. It was so cool. And I'd be after a week, you'd become fascinated. Where the hell did the pennies go? I take the same route to work every day. They're gone. Like hundreds and hundreds of pennies gone. Fascinating stuff. And I enjoy really screwing with obsessive compulsive lawyers and accountants. So if I'm at your house and your toilet paper is hanging nicely over the top, you might find it hanging behind the next day. Or if you like your candlesticks symmetrical on your mantle, they're not going to be symmetrical when I leave. And if your art is hanging perfectly straight, it just won't be by the time I'm gone. But that's just me, and I write music. So nice to meet everyone. Look forward to hanging with the fellows.
Thanks, Chris.
Tough follow there. This is Thomas Casey. I have the blessing and curse for working with Ed Kless. I'm really honored to be here. My passion is really negotiation, and it dovetails into value pricing so well. So that's an interesting fact about me. I would say probably the fact that these front 4 teeth are false. I went to George Mason University and was a rugby player, and yeah, that happened. That happened. Why I was at George Mason? An interesting fact is I studied under the infamous James Buchanan, and really honored to do that as well. What I'm trying to get out of today is really to listen and learn and get a couple of fantastic nuggets that I can put into what I teach people around negotiation.
Hi, I'm Catherine Robson. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I'm a financial advisor, and in 2008, when it was pretty miserable as part of the global financial crisis, realised that we needed to do financial advice a bit better and a bit differently. And so one of the things we embraced at that time was moving to fixed dollar value-based pricing and moving away from percentage of assets under management and commission-based remuneration, with the idea that you wanted to have control over what you got paid and not let markets dictate that for you. John Chisholm kindly joined our board as chairman a couple of years ago, and he's been talking about VeraSage ever since, so I can't believe I'm actually here. Need to pinch myself. And I think from my perspective, running a business, every day I feel like there's more I need to learn. And so one of the things I did 18 months ago was to start a podcast interviewing each week senior business women about their experience and the things that make them successful. So I've learned an enormous amount from that process, and I'm hoping to put that process on steroids by being with you all here for the next day or so. So thank you.
Good morning. I'm Paul Kennedy from England. I'm a practicing accountant, which always makes me sound like I haven't got the hang of it, but you know what I mean. I've been involved with VeraSage since 99, 2000, it must have been, so for many years. And we have, for many years, been experimenting with the VeraSage theories and putting them into practice, and for the most part, they've also changed my life. As to why I'm here, well, I don't have any goals. I've learnt to come to a VeraSage conference without goals. What I've learnt is if you hang around with some really smart people, you go home that much smarter. So that's my goal for this few days. If there was something interesting about me, I'd probably deny it because for fear of being struck off by my institute. So it's something of a quality in accountants in England to be boring. So if you do have anything interesting about you, just keep it to yourself. But looking forward to meeting you all these couple of days.
All right. John?
John Chisholm from Provo, Utah. Who lives in Provo, Utah? For God's sake? I don't want to say I'm from Australia because I carry the burden of being responsible for some of these Aussies here. And Ron and Ed, if you don't deliver, I'm not going down on my own. So you just, my ass is on the line here. I'm a recovering lawyer. I haven't filled out a timesheet. Well, I don't think I ever did. That's why I was sacked as a lawyer and became managing partner and CEO of law firms. I'm a consultant. Sometimes I influence some motivated professionals to make a change and make a difference. And certainly when I became a consultant back in 2005 and met the late Paul O'Byrne, Paul Kennedy's partner and a fellow, and someone that the fellows all here know really well. It not only changed my business life, but actually saved my business life. I've been a fellow since 2011 here. This is my 6th VeraSage. My goal of being here this time is actually to find if there's a good coffee barista in the whole of Texas. We've got about 24 hours to go and I still haven't found one. I went to law school in the early 70s at Monash University, which was a hotbed of radical students. You got kicked out of university if you didn't get arrested. So there were a lot of demonstrations and a lot of things going on there. I'm a grandfather of one, a 3-year-old. I've got 4 adult children. One of some of you have met, Erin, my youngest daughter, who lives in LA, who I think is here. I may have told her that the conference was in Dallas, Texas, and convinced her to come with me because she said, I've got a lot of friends in Dallas, Texas. It is the nightlife capital of Texas. I didn't actually tell her it was Alan we were going to. So she spent most of her nights going to Dallas rather than around here.
All right, Mr. Bowman.
So my name is Kirk. I'm honored to be a fellow at VeraSage. I am the visionary of value at Art of Value. I have been a software consultant for 20 years. Back in 2010, I met Ed, and that pretty much set me on a journey to where I am now. Interesting thing about me, inspired by Matthew Burgess' story, a few years ago I was doing software training, and on the way to the training, and I had people coming from out of town, it was about a 30-minute drive, and all of a sudden I saw, the infamous blue and red lights behind me. So they pulled me over and, didn't have my seatbelt buckled. Okay, give me a ticket, I'll be on my way. What I forgot was that I had also gotten a ticket in Dallas about 5 years ago for allegedly running a stoplight. I didn't pay the ticket because I didn't run the stoplight, but apparently our legal system felt differently. And so they ran my license, which is part of their standard procedure, and they said, Mr. Bowman, there's a warrant for your arrest. I was like, all right, that's a good one. And he goes, no, step out of the car. So long story short, this was about 7:30 in the morning. Hands behind my back in cuffs, in the car to the Allen jail, and they put me in the drunk tank. And of course, call my wife. She's not real happy about this for a couple of reasons. Number one, she got woken up. Number two, she had to wake up our 1-year-old son and bring him down, go to the ATM, get the $300-400, come down and bail me out. So I don't know if that counts as a record or not, but that's something unique about me. My goal for being here is I simply want to make sure all of you have the best experience possible, so you will come back next year, because we did make the decision yesterday. We're doing all this again next year here in Allen.
All right. Good. Okay. Coming up here, we have lots of stuff going on here. My computer's shut off. That's a good place to start. Okay. And that's going to go to Ron next. All right. Yeah, thanks, Greg. So let's take a quick look. And what Kirk's going to do is get this fired up so that it's kind of big in the screen on this corner all of the time. But just to give you a feel for this, how can you join the Allen band? Well, I suppose if you haven't graduated high school in the States, you could probably just, say that you need to go back to high school. All right, thanks. So on this, I'm never going to stop talking, Greg. We have PowerPoint document that we want to share with the DET Talk. Yes, just send any PowerPoint document that you want for your DET Talk, send it to me. I've got all of my emails open. I also have a USB drive up here if you just want to grab this. So there's lots of ways. And if you really super prefer to use your computer, we can make that happen too. I also have a clicker, so you can, it's not really a clicker. I don't know why we call it a clicker, but it's the slide advancer thingy. All right. I wonder who this is. We'll find it for you, John. Is that what it records, or is all of it being recorded? Most of it's being recorded. We're just going to use most. If you have anything about the specifics of it, please ask these guys and they'll let you know. Okay, so I think we got them all. So see how this works, right? Pretty straightforward. So as you're working through this stuff, just click in the question and we will come back to it. All right.